Harper Audio presents Ragged Rose by Dilly Court, read by Annie Aldington. Chapter 1. Cupid's Court, Barbican, London, 1875. Do hurry up, Cora. We're on in a minute. Rose edged past her sister, bending almost double to avoid knocking the sequin-encrusted gowns off the pegs in their tiny dressing room, which in reality was little more than a cupboard. Cora patted a stray curl in place, making a moo as she studied her reflection in the fly-spotted mirror. The atmosphere was thick with the smell of burning lamp oil and grease paint, with wafts of cigar smoke seeping under the door, and the ever-present odour of stale beer and spirits permeated every inch of the saloon. She stood up, smoothing the tight-fitting bodice of the daringly low-cut gown with a satisfied smile. "I'm ready." Rose opened the door in answer to an urgent knock.
"On stage, girls!"
Tommy Tinker, the boy who undertook all the odd jobs that no one else wanted to do, stuck his head into the room, eyeing the girls with a cheeky grin.
"Very nice too, if I might be so bold."
"Little boys should be seen and not heard," Cora said with a haughty toss of her head, as she squeezed past him. "Show a bit of respect for your elders, young Tinker." Rose paused in the doorway, fixing him with a stony stare until he blushed and dropped his gaze.
"Sorry, Miss Sunshine,"
he muttered, making way for her by flattening himself against the whitewashed wall of what had once been a coal cellar. This small space now served as general store, as well as dressing rooms for the acts who performed in Fancello's saloon. "It's Miss Perkins," Rose said mildly. "Sunshine is our stage name, Tinker." He frowned.
"Best hurry, miss. The patrons are getting restless."
Rose bundled up her full skirt as she negotiated the steep, narrow staircase, taking care to keep the satin from brushing against the damp walls. With Cora following close behind, she arrived in the wings just in time to hear Fancello's introduction.
"Ladies and gentlemen,"
he raised his voice in order to make himself heard above the general hubbub in the bar-room.
"I am proud to present for your delectation the delicious and delightful Sunshine Sisters."
He clapped enthusiastically, and his brother Alfonso downed the last of his pint and thundered out the intro on the piano. Ignoring the continuous chatter, the occasional bursts of raucous laughter, and with the odd salacious remark tossed in for good measure by someone the worse for drink, Rose and Cora performed Pretty Little Polly Perkins of Paddington Green, with appropriate actions, and then launched into their dance routine. This had the effect of largely silencing the rowdy element of their audience, as the men craned their necks in order to get a better view of ladies' legs and the occasional glimpse of a garter. Rose and Cora left the small stage to a tumult of applause, and were called back for an encore, but Fancello intervened.
"You have had sunshine brought into your lives, gentlemen. The young ladies must not be allowed to exhaust themselves, but they will perform again later in the evening."
He joined the sisters in the wings.
"Well done," he said,
twirling his waxed moustache, a nervous habit that Rose had noted several times in the past.
"We mustn't spoil them. Always leave the punters longing for more."
"Yes, Signor Fancello," Cora said with a coy smile. "You're always right." Rose eyed him suspiciously. "We agreed one performance a night, Signor. You just said we would be on again later. I take it that we'll be paid double?" He released his moustache, and it recoiled like a watch-spring.
"I'm paying you for a night's work, Miss Sunshine. Don't bring on the storm clouds. Fancello is a fair man, but you can be replaced."
Cora laid a small hand on his arm, her large blue eyes misted with tears. "Don't be cross, Signor. We understand, don't we, Rose?" Rose ignored the warning look that Cora sent her. "We might not be as well known as your Bambina, but we have been popular amongst your clients, Signor. I think we deserve to be paid accordingly." For a moment she thought that she'd gone too far. Fancello's dark curly hair seemed to stand on end like the fur of an outraged feet.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?